Hello, hello. Welcome to a Sunday session with Summer. I'm going to jump right in and talk about where my love for gymnastics began to kind of morph into a more pressure-based relationship. I'm going to touch on a few things that I think are very important and relevant in today's world and will be forever because we are all in this moral journey and imperfect human beings. So when I was 9 years old, I was placed in the top competitive group at my gymnastics club. Yep, a 9-year-old training and competing with athletes ranging in age from 13 to 18 was not a very fun experience. I was the little hotshot with talent that my coaches put in a group with girls that I not only had looked up to, but now I had to somehow navigate being their peer. And it was crazy. I was in elementary school. I was in the 3rd grade. And obviously, I was a little bit more oblivious to things that were going on in their world since they were in middle school and high school. So I also had some things going on at home that were not fantastic. All I knew was I was 9 years old and I loved gymnastics, and here we go. As I adjusted to training without having friends, because my friends in the gym were all in other groups, I began to isolate. I was already dealing with social anxiety and ADHD, which is why my mother put me in gymnastics in the first place. But I was trying to navigate what my new normal was. What does that even look like? Because now I'm training longer hours on top of it. And my coaches are talking about something called elite, and I don't even know what that means. I was just a little baby. Now, I was definitely bullied and treated unkindly, but I also had some amazing people that stepped up and were kind of like my big sisters. I didn't understand what the protocol was for living in a world with, I felt like, big kids. Now I began to understand their behavior towards me with a lot more clarity as I got older and was put in the same situation. Their feelings of frustration and annoyance with me was coming from a place of navigating their own personal feelings of displacement. They felt like they were being pushed aside, and here I was, this new hotshot. And that, unfortunately, was the reality. Gratefully, those teammates that I struggled with the most at the time are now dear friends of mine. My thought in sharing all of this is that it is very important for coaches to communicate the behavioral expectations of the gym. That's to the staff, to the parents, to the athletes, and then have a very clear protocol on how those negative behaviors, which will include bullying, will be handled. Every coach in the gym needs to be on board with the expectations and protocols. And then it is so important to be vigilant about paying attention to the temperament changes in the gym because there will be so many. The approach must be obviously with care and kindness because we all falter in our attempts to be good continually. Any procedure written down, discussed, or communicated in any way should be documented for the safety of everyone involved. That includes the coaches, the gym, the athletes, and the parents. If you do not have these things in place, I would highly encourage you to create something that you guys can utilize. And in doing that, create a safe space for athletes to communicate with you, whether you're the coach or the parent. If they are feeling uncomfortable or sad or targeted in any way, they need to know that they can talk to you. So thank you for joining me on my Sunday session, and I hope you guys have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.